Hello everyone, this is Greyshot 117 to bring another COH2 a replay. This one is brought to you by, let's see, can you guess who it is? It's Germans. Thank you, Germans, for making this replay. In any case you want to submit one, just send me a Gmail or Facebook message with your name, a short description, and of course the replay, and I will check it out. Make sure it doesn't have feature in AI to like the last few minutes, because that's fine if someone quits at the last few minutes, or something else. But in any case, it's 3v3 with 3 Vermont versus 2 Americans and a Soviet. Double checking ranks, aka playtime, really, more so than actual skill, because I literally had a guy with 5,000 hours and he acted like an idiot, which was hilarious. Also, just saw a quiet place, and now I'm just like, while doing this replay, I'm just like watching the window and everything, like, please don't let a giant monster just jump on through. If so, I know exactly what to do. Instantly jump on my phone, activate my alarm, throw it, and run away. No, that's not in the movie, but I'm just saying that thing is after sound, so you have to just make something that's louder than, well, me. In any case, let's see, 3v3, so most likely we have one guy on right, one guy in mid, and one guy on left. So, we'll see how things go. Rare Echelon moving up. He actually has 2, which is curious. I wonder if he just wanted more men to kind of spread out. MG placing should be able to hold back that unit, but most likely they'll try to flank around this way. And let's double check names. We have Mr. Vancini, Kamikaze, Germans. We also have Archer, Mon, and Ironing Man, which is a hilarious name. Grenadiers push on up, taking the left-hand side. Mid is now in control by Kamikaze. So very nice. And on the right, we have Mr. Vancini. And looks like he's going to be able to hold that area. So, Germans, good job. Actually, all fronts. Although it looks like the allies are actually doubling down in forest. Not a bad idea. Grab more resources. They're decapping this, so they're going to cut off these forces from possibly putting down a bunker or something along those lines. And it looks like they're pushing on up, trying to cut off this area. At least I would assume. Fun fact, you may not want to actually put that there. You may want to push it a little further in. Reason is that way A, a vehicle has a harder time smashing through it. And B, they can actually still capture the point right there, you can see. So, you know, just throwing that out there. Grenadiers being pushed back. Looks like we have wow, god damn it, we have Armor Company, which, fun fact, I have a great dislike for. People say why, it's just because of that goddamn Wolverine and Bulldozer. I don't like it as much, but once again, that's my own opinion. If you can actually, if Mon uses it correctly, or uses it really effectively, then I will eat my words. And I've stated that multiple times, but you know what? I have yet to see it or eat it. So I'm pretty, you know, pretty good. You know, because if I have to apologize for something, I'll gladly apologize for it. You know, unlike some people, like management. Yeah. If you know what I'm talking about, I think you can realize what I'm talking about. Penal troops flanking around, but unfortunately don't have enough munitions, so by a bluff manages to make the MG retreat, which is hilarious. Allies doubling down into force, and looks like that worked out pretty damn well. Managed to capture all that territory. In mid, unfortunately, it looks like Mr. Vancini is having some difficulties. Archer went guard mortar, so a lot of medium armor I could see from the allies. Definitely doubling down. The Bulldozer has a lot more armor, but it's not necessarily good against anything heavier than a light vehicle with that Bulldozer gun. Sure, technically it can do a little bit of damage, but it's mostly against infantry. That's what it's designed for. Kamikaze went Elite Troops Doctrine, so most likely he's going to be doubling down on G43 rifles, I would assume. He's going to at least get them, because they're pretty good, pretty much all ranges, especially with killing infantry. Putting down the bunker again for a medical, so that we can heal his guys. The Soviet building, if we go over here, has a medical. Nope. There we go. Has a medical building you can get. He hasn't gotten it yet. Usually if you go penals, you do. Also kind of weird you went penals and conscripts. Usually you go one or the other. Especially with guards rifle infantry. Because usually one will counter. Like, you can have penals focusing on the infantry. And then, like, the guards versing armor. Or, like, something like that. If you want to have them first armor, then great. You have them with satchels as well. Which are fantastic against armor. MG just being placed to hold back the infantry. But unfortunately, the scout car is going on the flank. Luckily, multiple grenadiers on standby to Panzerfaust that sucker. So say goodbye to it. Scout car trying to give out one final last stand, but unfortunately it's just going to perish. Oh well. That's what actually I typically do. If I see an enemy with a lot of MGs, I'll get a scout car so I can flank them. It really does help against overwhelming support spam, so I do highly recommend that tactic. You just have to watch out for the grenadiers, or at least make sure that you deplete their munitions so you can override them. Left hand side looks like Germans is pushing on up, though he put down a fighting position, or at least the American did, Ironing Man. But the hilarious thing is he has arm-piercing rounds, which is slowly hurting it and killing it. Unfortunately, we do have a MG that will be placed. Oh my god, the Russian line got murdered. I am probably going to say he's going to be fine. Oh, wait, no, our piercing rounds just ended. And now suppressing this has like a chain reacts and then it hits this one. But we have the half track moving on up, so they can just flank it and keep doing damage. Nice Panzerfaust. Oh, sorry. Now a rifle grenade should be more than enough to kill it. The MG is still doing damage. It's not bulletproof, so it can't easily be killed. A nice job on knocking it out. Again, arm piercing rounds may not do an incredible amount of damage, but it'll do enough to hurt it. Unfortunately, this guy does have a lot of infantry coming his way, along with the other American player. So Mon and Ironing Man are really doubling down on the forest area, with, I'm assuming, Archer kind of playing defensive in mid, which we'll see if that can work. He has a lot of frontline infantry, not really a lot of support equipment, so that's good on individual engagements. But if you're really like trying for a lasting effect, an MG would like be great for this choke point here. Is what I'm saying. He did go lieutenant, so again, most likely we could see an MG coming up soon, and it could place it here to stop enemy infantry from coming through. Also, it would probably really help as a grenade, because right now these guys are so grouped up that it's not a blob, but look, they're combined. Yeah, that's a blob. That's something you have to deal with. And you can see here he kind of moved them all together, so they are blobbing in kind of a dumb manner. Smart blob, if you don't know, it's my terminology, is a blob that has a lot of infantry in it, but is individually moved. Nice rifle grenade, but not killing any units, but definitely hurting their overall health. Though there's a ambulance back there, so he can easily repair himself. We have something coming down. I'm assuming it's some type of supplies. What could that be? Oh, we have a crate coming down for the American player, and he went airborne because of the 50 cal machine gun. So he definitely went airborne. Yep, you get a 50 cal machine gun. The problem is remanning it, but with an ambulance, oh boy, you could easily get that done. Looks like they're doubling down in mid. I keep saying doubling down, but yeah, you know, they are. They're focusing on capturing the point. Very nice job. Looks like all they need to do is kind of hold out in this sector. They should be relatively fine. Let's see, we have a lieutenant most likely going to go in this point. We have a mortar that's falling back. We have the MG still over here. They could try to capture this point. Neither side has really gone for it, which is quite funny. It's 8 minutes, and that point's been pretty much quiet. Lieutenant pushing in a little too much. He could deploy a smoke, but unfortunately he doesn't have the upgrade for it, so he's going to have to fall back. We do have penal troops just walking in. That's kind of stupid. Again, I don't know why you just have your troops walk on in. Nice teller mine, by the way. I like this location because most likely enemy armor coming through will most likely get hit by it. So let's see how that works. Left-hand side, what do we got? Half track moving in, but we have a 50 cal machine gun. Activate armor piercing rounds, why don't you? And yeah, should be able to hold back all that infantry. The only concern would be the half track. Yep, doing exactly that. Kind of just going around. Looks like he's going to fall back, maybe going through a different angle. This half track, however, again, a lot of people forget. This one can't fire out of it. The scout car, you can. And the other half tracks, like the Soviet half track, that can fit 2 squads, can move around and fire from the back. But unfortunately, that one, it's covered, so you can't really. Looks like overall the Axis are being pushed back. But the Allies, though, if we go check over here, actually, even though they have more territory, interesting satchel, by the way, didn't necessarily kill a ton of units, but it definitely did enough to where it brought them down quite a bit. And now each of the squads are just weakened, so they should be able to hold. Nice, was it rifle grenade? I think it was a rifle grenade. Hold on, did someone fire a rifle? Yeah, I think you did. So we got 4 guys with that satchel, enough to weaken all the squads. Not bad. But in any case, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so nice job delaying and able to hold this point. And overall, even though the Allies have more territory, they're actually still going relatively toe-to-toe with the Axis in terms of overall fuel and munitions. And yeah, we can see here that it's not too much of a, like, it's only 6. I mean, that is a lot over time, but it's not at least a huge change. Oh, whoop. Nope. He just got munitions. Never mind. That's going to help out. That's going to help the allies. Jesus. That's going to put the allies at, what, 63? Oh, boy. The Axis need to change something. Oh, guards, rifle, infantry. Trying to hold them off. We have a nice satchel. I love, by the way, when people don't retreat from the satchel. It's like 3, 2, 1, and bye. Fantastic. Mortar on standby. Let's see over here. Garmin's just hold. Let's see. Also pulling down the medic, and a good idea because again, you don't want to walk your troops all the way over here to get that one. That being said, I do like. Wow, they all have it. So, and actually, pretty good job on all fronts. Again, you want to make sure your infantry's healed and can go toe-to-toe with the allies. Fortunately, though, the allies have a, well, rather large army compared to you guys. They are also getting paratroopers, which is frightening. Because, you know, paratroopers equipped with LMGs or Thompsons, and you got yourself some trouble. Now, it looks like they put the mortars maybe a little too close to the front. The allies are trying to charge on up, but the Panzer Grenadiers are just mowing them down. Lieutenant opening fire from the side. Luckily, he has a nice bar. So you can do a decent amount of anti-infantry damage against those. But the problem is there's just so many units. Do they have Thompsons coming in? That could really help. Nope, LMGs. So what they need to do is get some cover and just fire long range. Because the LMGs can easily overwhelm an MG42. Them having 2 plus a 50 cal machine gun is going to, unfortunately, hold them back. Grenade could also be very effective right here. We'll see if they throw something. Up. They were going to. Looks like they stopped when they moved. Also, they have some nice defensive bonuses. So, again, they can take more hits. Ostwind, though, now on the front, which is very good against infantry. What do the allies have? Do the allies have any anti-armor? They have some, you know, infantry fighting guard troops. And it looks like the riflemen have AT grenades, but no real bazookas. And the captain has a bazooka. So it could be better, but it could also be a lot worse. G43 rifles? Oh man, I was right. He is using them. Rifle. No, okay. I thought rifle grenade would be fired, but no. Looks like just naturally. I mean, they're vetted, so they're pretty damn good. But looks like they're able to push back the paratroopers. Now, this is where we could see an extension of the Axis, where they could try to push back and regain some territory, much needed territory, because the Allies maybe overextend themselves a little bit, and it's hard for them to control all those points so far from base, especially without armor. Now, I like these penal troops, but unfortunately, you just came to a great scenario. Oh, fuck. That was a good shot. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't designed to kill infantry, but hell, the teller mine blowing up caused enough damage to push back and pretty much kill almost yeah, pretty much half of 3 squads. Now we have a half-track, maybe wrong type, fighting infantry. When I say wrong type is, the Ostwind and this both good against aircraft. The difference, this is bullets, this is more of a explosive round, and that can definitely do a lot more damage against this half-track, more so than this Ostwind. So, the Ostwind will do damage against the half-track. Now we have a Wolverine, and I don't like the Wolverine all that much. I think it's kind of stupid, and this Ostwind is doing enough damage to it. But that, wow, okay, go right through. That's a little weird. But the Wolverine is good against light and medium armor to an extent, and looks like it should be able to knock out this Ostwind, if it can. Come on, knock out the Ostwind. Looks like he's holding fire, hopefully trying to escape. Didn't work, though, and the Wolverine was able to neutralize it. The nice thing about the Wolverine as well is you can actually run over a bunch of infantry with it pretty easily. At least the last time I checked. For some reason, it's great maneuverability, enough so that infantry really don't dive out of the way and will just get run over by it. Pulling back a little bit, half-track going in. There's still the armored unit right there. Oh, he's healing. Pack gun, though, is right there, and most likely that thing is getting screwed. Wow, actually, no. Train took the shot. Half-track needs to escape. Fortunately, he had to turn around and was easily knocked out by the pack gun. Wolverine pushing on up, but once again, the pack gun is right there. We have a marked target going down on the Panzer IV, making it easier to kill. We have some type of airstrike coming in. We have a Sturmovik strike, it looks like. We have some artillery coming down in this sector. Strafing support, it looks like. I'm sorry, strafing run. I'm thinking of something else. Oh, no, the plane's the marked target, I think. Yeah. Okay. Maybe the Major also called down some artillery right there, which is what we saw. But overall, it looks like the Germans will slowly gain a little bit of territory. Allies have to pull back just a bit. Unfortunately, just not a lot of troops that can really keep on firing. The nice thing about Mr. Vanzini with his pick is not only that straight support, just make the infantry pretty much not only have a hard time retreating and really unable to fight, but pretty much will hopefully allow them to gain superiority in this area and allow them to take it. A lot of medium armor, interesting choice. That should be able to help out right now against the Allies who really don't have a lot of anti-armor. We do have a Jackson now, which can easily put the end to that. Jackson, especially with the buff in the December patch to increase its armor survivability, definitely Panzer IVs have a lot harder time fighting them. That doesn't mean the Panzer IV can't kill it, it's just a lot more difficult for it to happen. Let's see, Germans make German mechanized. Interesting choice. I wonder if you got for the command tank. Spong scope can also be good for just recon purposes. Maybe the artillery. I don't know why. I haven't seen a lot of fortifications, but okay. And then with this as well, you got the fragmentation bomb and the Tiger tank, which can be deployed. But unfortunately, though, marked target, if used correctly, can pretty much neutralize a lot of heavier armor. So that is a issue that they will probably run into. This is also kind of a choke point right now for the Allies, so they're kind of focusing all their men down the single path. And if the Axis could keep focusing in this small area, they can keep choking them and hopefully dealing a ton of damage. Or that, or they build an artillery piece and just all firing at that one location. Meanwhile, we have the right. We have an MG over there. Panzer IV trying to neutralize it. We actually have multiple Panzer IVs. Wow. We have a Panzer IV for each guy, plus an Ostwind. So they're really, really focusing on that medium armor. Hopefully, that this will be enough to turn the tide. And I can see the reason why they got that. They're right now down and out, at least for a majority of this game, and they need something to help turn the tide. Wolverine trying to get a shot, but unfortunately not getting a great line of sight. Pack gun, though, on standby. Should be able to push back the Wolverine, which is now Vet 2, which will cause a lot more issues. Jackson, though, coming on the flank, so that's going to cause a lot of damage to this thing. And while this thing could push up, Jackson will probably get the final... No smoke! Right. Oh, man, tries to direct fire, misses the shot. Guards troops taking mid. We have another Panzer IV on the right. So we have these two in mid, unfortunately taking some hits. We have a... Blitz truck that's now trying to get some more fuel, goddammit, for Mr. Vanzini. And the cargo truck is pretty damn good at getting those extra resources, and it doesn't affect population, so you can just keep pumping them out. The problem is just they're 200 manpower, but overall they're worth it, because they can easily get you more resources very quickly. The hardest thing, though, is just making sure they don't die. They're very easy and susceptible to fire, so that's the one thing you have to watch out for with them. Rifleman, and once again, Armor Company has these goddamn assault engineers, and they're fine, they're okay. They can place demos, which again used to be great, and now they're not. So, I mean, the best thing to do is hide a demo around a building so they can't see it and they come around. Similar to like a Goliath or something along those lines, you just hide it in a place to ambush. But I don't know, out in the open where you can easily see them now because within radius, unfortunately, demos are not as good, which reduces their effectiveness. You can say, oh, Greyshot, they're good close range. Well, really, no. Yeah, with the flamethrower, they can be okay, but overall, they still have a lot of issues. Speaking of issues, we can see a ton of infantry right now. He has a T-30-45, which is actually pretty damn good against infantry and pretty much just all targets. Even the best armored units, its gun can penetrate, so... The problem is, at least I found with the T-30-45, is accuracy. It has a tendency to miss. When it does hit, it'll do actually a decent amount of damage. But overall, you can see shot after shot, hit after hit, just not doing a ton of damage. There we go. And when it does actually hit, it does do quite a bit. But when it misses, oh god, it misses. And you're just sitting there like, why? Like, it's not moving, it's just stationary and misses. Units also not moving, also stationary. Also, once again, misses. Like I said, T-30-45, very good, just, man, oh man, doesn't miss a lot. Wolverine's opening fire on the Panzer IV. The pack got pushed back. We have a mortar carriage over there, which will definitely hamper a lot of the infantry, if it can get the hits. Oh, nice kill on the Panzer IV. Pack gun, though, on standby. It looks like they're not going to be able to kill the one, because, again, the train cars kind of blocking some shots. Jackson could get another hit on the armor, but alas for them. Wait, why are you charging? Why? Pull back. My god, don't overextend. That would really be the case if you push up tank destroyers against a bunch of infantry defenses and support weaponry. They're just not going to do as much as, let's say, more units more designed for it. So like the Soviets would be the IS-152 or the IS-2, more designed versus the infantry. Or maybe the King Tiger or the Tiger. Tank destroyers, just, that's not the caliber shells for infantry. It just doesn't work. Sure, in real life, if a tank destroyer fired on an infantry unit, yes, it would hurt and would definitely kill that unit, as anything going so fast would. But on the flip side, it's just not. It just doesn't have the explosive capabilities to really hurt infantry. So it's a great for just trying to penetrate a specific target. It's not that great for, wow, okay, nice grenade for just doing the, excuse me, for just not hitting a big group of infantry. Nice job with the paratroopers just mowing down that mortar. On the left-hand side, we have a Panther with, looks like a spotting scope and an MG trying to break these defenses. My question with him is if he plays mines. That could be very effective. I don't see any mines. Hold on, can you place mines? It's actually a better question. I don't see the ability to place mines, but the Soviet player could. Hypothetically, he doesn't have an engineer squad. But they are pressing right now on the Axis. So right now the Axis are pretty much down. Oh, nice Katusha hitting that inbound infantry. Yeah, things are not looking all that great for the Axis. They are reorganizing themselves, but once again, they're taking some severe casualties, even just trying to get to the basic front line. And that's... if they can't even get to the front line without keeping their men alive, they're going to be having some major issues. Mortar carrier just moving in to try to kill some infantry. Panther, though, taking some hits as well, being pushed back. A lot of this armor, though, is weakened, and it looks like they did lose, let's say, a Wolverine. Or is that a Jackson? I think... hold on. It has the back kind of tip to it, where you can check over here. They don't really have that... they have a little extension, but it's not as far. So, that was a Jackson that died. Which is good, because that should help out the Axis. Anyway, these guys are pretty much... the Axis are being pushed back to their base. Now, let's look at overall population. They're in the mid-50s. Axis are easily in the mid-60s. So, while it looks like the Axis are down, sometimes it looks can be deceiving. They actually have a large army, and they can spring like a goddamn slinky back and pretty much take over things. Or a better, probably, observation of this, or pretty much just a thing that would resemble this, would be more like a rubber band, where you push it back more and more and more, and you think, oh, I got this, it snaps back and it hurts. Well, it looks like there's enough force here to snap back, especially with a lot of vetted infantry, that the Allies might be in for some trouble. Strafing support looks like coming in. Looks like they hit a Teller mine on this Wolverine, which is why it took so much damage. This other Wolverine pulling back, 3 stars, nothing to sneeze at, but it's still a Wolverine, so it needs to activate those arm-piercing rounds if it hopes to really do a ton of damage against the Tiger. Good job trying to help out repairs. Though, with all the infantry pushing on up, this could be an issue, because they could probably rush on up and grab some of the Wolverines. Looks like they're staying back, though, so that may not be that case, but again, it can be deceiving. Units on standby. Tiger and Panzer IV slowly pushing up. Looks like they're trying to knock out that MG, which, once again, a weird position because you can see here there's no front. So I always find it hilarious when people put MGs in this building because really, it's only good from the right and the left. So, yeah, not that great. Guards troops and penal troops on standby. Once again, having PTRS rifles would probably be very effective. Wolverine going in, providing sight, knocking out the Panzer IV. Great shot with the Jackson. Now, if the Wolverine can... oh, mark target as well. Oh, no, Tiger. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Tiger, I thought that was their comeback. I really thought that was their comeback motive. They did knock out the Wolverine, 3 stars, but they lost the Tiger and Panzer IV. It looks like the Jackson, the other Wolverine, will make it out just fine. So that was an easy loss for the Axis. An easy loss. It looks like overall casualties are reflecting that. Garmin's the only one that actually has a full army. And it looks like he's focusing on the forward, which is a good idea. They're losing pushing back in mid, but because they get an open ground, they have better infantry. artillery and armor, at least with tank destroyers, to hold back a lot of the panzers and Oswinds and Stugs that try to push on up. But on the flip side, in the forest area, there's not as many defenses. In just a one-on-one campaign, this armor is just showing that it can definitely deal a lot more damage. Plus, with all the brush, it's hard for the Jackson to get a clear line of sight. Here, it's fine, but you can see here the Panther moving around. It's going for the flanking opportunity to close the gap, and he knows he has to pull back. Otherwise, he's going to be in for some issues. Right-hand side, we have a mortar carriage. This thing could easily have some issue. What's the best way? It could easily knock out the Panzer Grenadiers long range, but if it comes in close, Panzer Grenadiers could easily overwhelm it with just sheer AT. But looks like the push in the forest may be exactly what they need. Also, we have a Tiger Ace, which is a huge gamble, because again, that's cutting off your fuel and pretty much saying, hey, this is possibly the last tank we're going to get for this entire game. So, at least he did enough to where he saved up for it, which is smarter than a lot of players I see, but we'll see how things go. Tire tank pushing on up. Looks like being hit by the Su-85, which itself is being flanked by the Panzer Grenadiers, so say goodbye. Come on, or the Panther as well. Nice shot. Also looks like we had some type of airstrike come in. I'm assuming maybe a fragmentation bomb. No, P-47s coming in. This could actually do a lot of damage if the shells actually hit all this infantry around the Panzer IV. Now again, most likely they're just going to retreat out of the designated target location. Unfortunately, it looks like this P-47 got the target before they retreated. So it's going to get a few more hits in and actually did quite a bit of damage. But that should stop armor from coming into the forest area, which may allow Ironing Man to push on up. Which, by the way, once again, fantastic name. I'm so excited for Infinity War, which comes out later this month. I cannot wait. Yeah, oh, there goes a plane. A little more could have hit some armor. But nice job on the Oswald shooting it down. Gonna have to assume keep trying to shoot it down. Or at least remaining aircraft. Oh, there goes the other one. It didn't really hit anything. MG trying to hold out, but Captain's like, I'm just gonna walk around. But no, I'm excited. Also, I love all the marketing because really, they're just showing Wakanda, which makes perfect sense. Wakanda literally just passed Titanic for being like the third highest grossing movie domestically of all time, which just goes to show if you make a really good superhero movie, and no, I'm not saying just because I'm not just saying because of the Black Panther in general, but I'm just saying if you make a really good superhero movie and then just make a franchise out of it, and you just keep the quality going for like the 17th, it's like the 17th or 18th or 19th film, you're gonna keep adding more and more rewards, like Thor Ragnarok and what else was there? Shoot, what came out recently? Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and other things. It just keeps adding up. And again, you just make them unique and interesting. Like Homecoming is different than Thor, which is different than Black Panther. People are gonna be like, wow, that's good. And even though you could say like Justice League was meh, Wonder Woman was great, that's still a meh film. And that meh film was probably on par with like Thor the Dark World or Iron Man 2, where it's just like, oh, it's okay. Whereas like that's like the 1 or 2 MCU films, which is just like, eh. Whereas like majority of them, especially after Civil War, have just been like fantastic. So I don't know. I always give credit where credit's due, and just and having even like Homecoming, which I can say like wasn't necessarily my favorite Marvel movie ever, and it's probably the weakest out of all the Marvel movies that came out in 2016 or 2017. Sorry, was easily still had some of my favorite scenes. Like, goddamn, Michael Keaton in the back, like driving the car to Homecoming was one of my favorite scenes, because it's just, they play as one thing and it just goes on another. It's just great. Speaking of things that are just being played up, god damn, good job on the Germans pushing the Axis back, the Allies back across the board. Looks like they're doubling down force, trying to, God, I keep saying doubling down. Greyshot doubles down, saying doubling down. Also nice artillery, kind of hitting all targets. They are kind of grouped up and unfortunately just knocking a lot of great open shots. These brushes and trees are just making it very hard for the Jacksons to open fire. They can get some hits. Also command tank boosting defensive capabilities. Nice. Tiger on the flank. Even with everything, Jacksons are just having a hard time penetrating. 3 shots only down to like a quarter health. Or down a quarter health. Good job. Overall, though, we can double check the Allies and the Axis, and it's still pretty even. Axis could have a slight lead, but now also resource-wise, the Allies are down. And that's where it's going to start getting interesting. The Allies need to regain some territory. Dropping smoke, I wonder, maybe just move your troops over to the right, maybe? But if I was the Allies, I would try to regain as much territory as possible, because right now you're down on resources, and you don't have a lot of reserves. Like, sure, Man has a lot of munitions, but Archer has pretty much is at bare minimum for everything else, and Iron Man same way, except for possibly fuel. Fuel he's actually not doing that bad on. They can at least get another vehicle if he needed to. So, looks like the Allies are also trying to do a nice grab on the left, trying to decap that territory. Pretty good for them. Tiger just doing a good job, just kind of holding its own, playing smart, just weighing back, just allowing the enemy to go into a choke point. Allies, and again, the paratroopers, oh boy, with those LMGs, they will destroy infantry, which is probably a big reason why we're seeing the Axis not with a ton. Poor Stu didn't stand a chance. We have some type of, I'm assuming, smoke coming down. Yeah, smoke bombs. Trying, unfortunately. Tried. Now, this... Oh boy, this is actually smoke is causing issues with the Jacksons, which now have to move up further to hit the Tiger. But it looks like this is their big charge. They are moving armor over here in like a large counterattack, so they could encircle all these Jacksons. That being said, they did, looks like, knock out the Oswin. Not cripple it, you can still reman it, but it's definitely annoying. Tiger Ace is gone, but now he's getting the fuel back. There goes one Wolverine. We still have a Panzerwerfer over here, which could... Nope, missed the shot. And now all this armor's coming in, and they're trapped. All this armor cannot escape. They're stuck. And unfortunately, they just don't have enough firepower. This thing is... I love it, it's just standing here. It's like, you know you could have got out and tried to reman it, right? So that was honestly not worth it. This Jackson tried to go through the gap, and unfortunately just has no support. These guys right here can kind of Panzerfaust it if they really did escape. But that was a nice push to try to knock out the Tiger Ace and the, like, all the armor in mid. And they kind of got some of it. The Oswin, again, you can see here, easily got remanned. And they just really pulled back, and then just came with a great flank. That pretty much sealed this game, because I don't think they have much armor left. Okay, he's getting another Jackson, but that's one. And Archer has one Katusha, but really not much else in terms of armor. He does now have penal troops and guard troops, both with PTRS rifles or DPs. So that will affect their effectiveness against armor and allow them to possibly, you know, throw some nice satchels, which I've really not seen this game. But it will definitely help them out. Just pointing it out. It will definitely help. MG42 just holding them back. Right now, Germans slowly but surely whittling down the Allies and most likely trying to go from mid. Right now, Allies just having a really tough time. They need to go for the force. I would push through the right, but they keep pushing through this tight corridor, and these Grenadiers are just lying in wait with their MG42s. Fortunately, it looks like they had to pull back from the grenades. Paratroopers on standby. Nice job. 22 kills and 11 respectively. And again, I have to give credit where credit's due for keeping a lot of these units alive with veterancy. So Germans, those Grenadiers with Kamikaze, Mr. Vichy. We have Ironing Man as well with a lot of vetted troops. Man has a lot of vetted troops. Goddamn Archer. Like, all of them are doing a fantastic job with veterancy. And that's why, as well, that you're seeing these comebacks on both sides. Because they both have enough men on their respective fronts where they can easily come back with a good fighting force. Because they're not starting out with basic recruits. They have a good starting point. Sure, they're losing their armor, and they are losing a couple veteran forces here or there, but it's not overwhelming. It's not so disparaging that it's really just climbing up a slope that's essentially at like a... Probably the best way to put it would be like a 165-degree angle, or some ridiculous thing where it's almost nearly straight up, but not. Wow, I actually fucked that up because that would actually be going upside down. Holy crap, I'm terrible. It would most likely be like an 85 or 88 degree angle where it's just like that steep, because 90 straight up. God damn it. Thrown off a little bit. Hey, look, I don't use math all that often in day-to-day life, so I apologize for messing up that goddamn simple geometry. Maybe I need to take some bow and arrow lessons if I really want to get my geometry down. But in any case, I don't play that character. Tiger pushing up way too far, and most likely will be easily knocked out. And this could be the place where the allies push back. They're overextending. A good artillery from a Katusha would be very good there. Let's see. Archer does have the Katusha, though it did fire, and he doesn't have any more. Unfortunately, it looks like strafing run. Actually, good job stopping the Soviet blob, though we have the American infantry and the paratroopers moving on up. We have a push on the right, but it looks like Germans is stopping that immediately and allowing them to pretty much control all the capture points, which is definitely going to run the clock down for the Allies. Allies, though, let's double check overall men, have probably close to like upper 40s, where the Axis easily have, actually it's not that disparaging, it's actually probably mid-60s. Still high, but not as high as it could be. Overall, though, NGs are pretty much stopping the Axis advance. Unfortunately, they just have not much to really deal with that armor. They can activate our, 50 cal machine guns and whatnot to really unarmed person rounds to hurt them. It just won't do all that much. You have Jackson on standby. Really surprised not moving up. You have all these guys with like guard troops, which will do damage. I mean, those rifles are fantastic. The Oswin will hurt the infantry a little bit. Now we have all the armor pushing on through. This Katusha needs to really freaking move. Ah, too late. Yeah. Overall, looks like, unfortunately, though, I don't think the Axis are gonna... I don't want to say fumble it, but they're not gonna be pushed back, I don't think. It's a lot harder to push back this armor. Though it looks like in this choke point... Oh, my God. If he could have moved up and... Oh, no, he did. He fired the ET rifle. If they can push, if they can take out this Panther, that would give him hope, because that knocks out Panzer IV. Smoke coming down there, stopping the range of the Jacksons, allowing the Panzer IV and the command tank to possibly open fire close range. We have another Panzer IV moving on up, trying to save. The hill is causing an issue with the Jacksons, trying to hit the Panther, which managed to escape. Once again, nice smoke, obscuring the view and cutting the range of that Jackson. That gave enough time for this Panther to retreat. They're going to try to push up, but I feel like they're going to be, choke pointed. Nice idea, but unfortunately just not enough. Wow, nice shot. You just need one more, but will you get it? I don't think so. No, you're direct firing. Okay. You have no idea where they are. And now they're... Wow. They're doubling the effort with 2 Pioneer squads trying to heal that Panther. They do have some paratroopers coming on in, and that should give these Grenadiers a run for their money, but they're most likely going to try to close the gap and engage at several times. Nice rifle grenade, too. Grenade, they're going to dodge out of the way, not really dish out. If they would have came in together and both fought, it would have probably been a little different. But unfortunately, because of the bad placement of that infantry and everything else, there is just not going to happen. And it looks like that overall the Allies are pretty much going to lose this game. It was a close game, and I'll give them that. Right now the Axis have more than enough reserve. The Allies do not. But I really thought the Axis were pretty much going to lose this game. But they did a good job. They kind of slowly just whittled down the Allies and then just played it smart. And then the Allies thought they could easily push back the Axis, and unfortunately just got overwhelmed and lost the majority of that armor, which really forced them back. Them losing like 4 tank destroyers on that like blitz attack made it from an even fight to a losing fight. I'm not saying that the Allies just did amazing did terrible the entire losing fight. Like the falling action of this game after the major conflict, yes, I would say that the Allies still put up a damn good fight. Like, look at all these troops on the Soviet side that are vetted up. That's really astounding, because Soviet troops have a tendency to die very quickly. So keeping them alive is actually pretty damn good. The same thing with this American player, just can't keep their armor alive. That's the problem. Paratroopers, once again, also highly vetted. Mines would also probably have been effective to stop these flanks from occurring, because that would have stopped them in their tracks. Trying to pick up the bazooka real quick. I have to make the assumption. Nope, he has Barium bazooka already, so no, that's not going to be the case. But all this armor's not coming in. Most likely will flank this armor. Yep, there it goes. And even though they're trying desperately to take mid, it's just not going to work. It was a good fight. It was a really, really good fight. Jackson on the firing from the back. There's just too much armor. The command tanks are providing a lot of defensive bonuses for this big armor push. So nice job, Germans on the flank. That really helped you out. Overall damage, yeah. Kamikaze got the most. And we double check and see why. Again, pack gun. Pack gun did a ton of damage. So good job. Actually, hold on. 4. How many did you have? Just 1? Did you really just have 1 pack gun that did 13,000 damage? Holy shit, you did. Nice job. So, yeah, good job on that pack gun for just wrecking armor the entire time. Let's double check as well. Kills, though. Germans easily. Let's double check, see what was the thing that really pushed him above. If I had to say, it was probably his Grenadiers. Hold on. His Grenadiers got 47 infantry kills. Not bad. And Panther got 37. So, also, really not bad. Double check the Allied team. And we can see that the Allies currently have man with most damage. Again, I would say his... Wait, hold on. Fucking hell. Alright, man. What'd you get? God damn it. What was it? God damn it. Fine. I eat my words. The Wolverine did fine. It did fine for this game. They didn't win. Sigh of that. But, you know, it did fine. They did enough to hold back the enemy armor. Most kills, though, goes to Archer. And again, his infantry was probably the reason why, and that's a good job on that front. But in any case, guys, that's game. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you send in those replays. It's been Greyshot17. Before I go, I also want to thank my Patreon supporters like... apparently, Collateral, aka Nick, supported me, so now I have to say his name. So thank you, Collateral. Thank you, Ace. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Lobo. And thank you, Joey. Thank you guys so very much for your awesome support. You guys all rock. But this has been Greyshot17, and I'll see you all next time.
Hello everyone, and before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Joey, Ace, Lobo, Leo, Nick, and Tim. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support. You guys rock and help me do what I do. So thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.